It's 12 o'clock somewhere. How about 12 o'clock in Fort Collins, Colorado? So you know what that means. If it's noon on Wednesday, then then it must be Pineapple Wednesday. Wait, Leslie, what? Wait, what? Go get your fancy pants on. We're doing fancy pants ferments this week, apparently, after yesterday, because I called my sauerkraut that I made fancy pants. So today we're doing fancy pants pineapple fizzy drink. There you go. This is what we're making today, and I'm going to take you guys through the steps to teach you how to make this. And I'm going to tell you the do's and the don'ts, and I'm actually going to show you a mistake. Yes, a mistake, because I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and I want to show you guys my mistakes as well as my successes, because right now it's like a science lab in my kitchen. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. Excuse me, just a second. Excuse me. It's like a science lab. No, it didn't. It's like a science lab in my kitchen right now. I actually stopped it at the early stages of fermenting. So I obviously don't have a way to test how much alcohol is in this, but it does not taste like a lot, or any at all, quite frankly, because it's super light and really yummy. So I'm excited to show you guys how to make it. Love my bottles, right? I know they're gorgeous, right? You can get these at Sur La Table. This one also, look at this one. This is what I'm going to actually bottle my kombucha in. So yeah, you can actually buy bottles like this at Sur La Table, and they're gorgeous. Thank you guys so much for sharing out. Let me introduce myself before we get started. My name is Leslie. I have a business called GoToKitchens.com. And we can't do that in Colorado, actually, Janet. There is no, hi, Robin Nance. There is no, hi, Gary Nance. There is no affiliate links in Colorado because of our tax laws, so you can't do that here in Colorado. So my name is Leslie, GoToKitchens.com. And I would like to invite all of you, if you have not already, to go over to the website and check it out. It's right here in the title of the scope. If you have any questions, you can email me from there. And then, you know, I always say this, but there is nothing to buy over there. You could not buy a thing. If you're in the mood to buy something, you cannot buy a thing. The only thing that I want you to buy into from GoTo Kitchens is I want you to buy into your own health, and that is what GoTo Kitchens is all about. So there you go. We are making this today. I have some exciting news about tomorrow as well. Thank you for sharing, everybody. If you want to know how to share, if you're new to Periscope and you've never been on a live scope, or you're not quite sure how to share, you can hit the little guy that's in the little corner right over here. There's a little ball-headed white guy. You can hit that. Hey, Lolita. You can touch that, and it will give you options to share out. It will also give you options to follow me. So if you want to follow me, awesome. I would love to have you on board. We are growing the Go-To Nations on Periscope very quickly. So you weren't going to miss the fancy pants, right? The fancy pants pineapple drink, Lolita. So we're going to start a new culture of this, and it is going to, I'm going to take you through the steps and through the process of making this. Now then, you have to be very careful. This has to be tasted on a regular basis through the fermenting process if you do not want it to turn into alcohol or vinegar. And so I'm going to show you my mistake that I have. There's the mistake sitting right there. Like a ghost sitting over here. But yeah, that's my mistake. I'm going to show you that in a little bit later after we put everything together. So, but yes, but you can get a really nice drink. Now then, this is a Yeah, you should always taste your ferments for sure, because they can turn into vinegar or alcohol very, very easily. So that's one of the things about fermented food. When you think about beer and wine, those are fermented foods, or those are fermented drinks. And so this is the same process. We're using fruit, and it can, when you combine it with sugar, it can turn into alcohol very quickly. So unless you want an alcoholic drink, which a lot of people do, then you just want this to, you want to only ferment this for like a day, like 24 to 48 hours maximum. So yes, and if you go longer than that, you may end up with alcohol. If you go longer than the alcohol stage, you're going to end up with vinegar. So still not ready. Still not ready. Okay, so let's get started. I need to go over the ingredients with you. So to make this, you're going to obviously need some sort of end bottle. I call these my end bottles because this is what my drinks end up in. This one's actually been in the refrigerator for a couple of days. Once you put it in the refrigerator and remove the fruits, it's actually stopped the fermentation process. So because cultures will not grow in a cold environment like a refrigerator. So it's actually not fermenting anymore at this point. So you're going to need an end bottle, something like this. A mason jar would work just fine as well. You're going to need some ginger. Ginger. Everybody say ginger. Can you see it? There we go. Some fresh ginger, just like this. You're going to need 1 pineapple, depending on how much you want to make. This is actually 1 pineapple right here. But I can tell you that you're going to use the parts of the pineapple that you don't eat. That's kind of the secret of this whole thing. So it's going to be the parts that you would normally throw away that you're going to use to make this drink, which makes it fabulous because you guys know that this is like double duty for me because I hardly throw away any food parts. I try to reuse all my food parts because an organic pineapple like this is expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. An organic pineapple this time of year is expensive. And so I don't want to throw away any of its parts. So if I can salvage those parts and make other things from it, then I'm going to do that. So if you use traditional sugar, that's a great question. That's going to be the next thing that we talk about. If you use traditional sugar, by the way, sugar is sugar is sugar. So don't be fooled to thinking if you're using brown sugar or organic raw sugar or anything like that, that somehow it's escaped its superpowers and it's no longer sugar. Sugar is sugar, sugar. So same thing with coconut sugar. This is, yes, excellent. I agree. Not having to waste anything. This is actually a coconut sugar. This is an organic coconut sugar. I use all things organic in fermenting. This is a very good tip, actually. Using things when you're fermenting, using things that are organic are so important because the pesticides that would be on the skin of a pineapple like this is actually going to ramp up and be more available in your body as it ferments. So you want to make sure that you're using, sorry about that. That you're using a nice organic everything. So yes, so this is organic coconut sugar. Now this is still sugar, but it has a lower glycemic index, meaning that it releases its carbohydrate sugar. Oh, there's Edison. It releases its sugar to you at a slower rate. So it's not going to be a burst of sugar. It's actually going to go a little bit slower in the body. There's going to be some minerals in here, you know, some things like that, but those are not anything to get all excited about. Let's just put it that way. But I'm going to use an organic sugar. It's a little bit different than cane sugar, less processing as well. And then you're going to need Edison. That's enough, buddy. You're a good dog. Edison likes to bark. Yeah, I got to get those trace minerals. Yeah, but in organic coconut sugar, there's not a lot in there to get all happy. You're better off with sea salt at that point. So, and then I have some distilled water. And yes, I know that it's in a plastic jug. You don't have to remind me, but try to find distilled water that's not in a plastic jug. Almost impossible. So, you're okay? That's good to know. Hopefully, Robin, if you're still watching, you will go and get Edison, please. Thank you. You're going to need a grater like this. You're going to need a large mason jar like this. Okay, this is, I can't remember, this is a 6-cup mason jar. So you're going to want a large mason jar. You are going to want some sort of cloth. This is just muslin. This is just a cut piece of, You can buy this really cheap at a fabric store. This is what I'm going to use. I actually have a tea towel over this one, so that shows you what I've used there. Yeah, I've never seen it either, so never seen it in glass ever. So you're going to need that, and you're going to need a rubber band, and that's what you're going to need for this project. Now remember, you're not using very much of the flesh of the pineapple, so you're actually going to have the whole pineapple left over at the end of this whole ordeal, and you can still eat the pineapple. So yay, yay. Okay, so we're just going to start by, actually, I need to wash this pineapple super fast. I just want to rinse it off just quickly to get some of the dirt and that sort of thing off. I'm using, it would be best if you rinsed it off in the distilled water, quite frankly, but I did not just do that. I just rinsed it like that, and I do not have a, hold on, bear with me, guys. I was having some technical errors earlier, and so I'm a little bit not totally prepared. So I'm going to just, yeah, it'll be fine. Yes, it'll be fine. Not a lot of chlorine in there. Chlorine kills, chlorine water though, chlorinated water, that's why you want to use distilled, because you will not get a good ferment when you're using water. So you want to use distilled or really nice filtered water. So yeah, so just dry that off. Seems silly when we're about to put it back in the water, but we are. And I'm going to cut the end off and set it aside. And I'm going to cut the top off, but I'm going to go very close to the top. Basically what I'm doing at this point is I'm just cutting off these, I'm just cutting off the leaves. So I'm going to cut that off. If you have a pineapple, I don't know if you guys know this. See, I've cut it very shallow here. If you have a pineapple and you take this and you put it in some water, this one's probably a little too dead for that, but it's a really, really fresh pineapple, and you leave a little bit more flesh on there and put this in some water, it will actually start to sprout, and you could start your own pineapple plant. So just FYI. Then you could really use everything. So, oh, I did not have a lot of stem left in there. So then I'm just going to take, excuse me just a second, please. Robin, can you please go get Edison if you're still watching? Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, so now I'm just going to take and I'm going to run my knife right down the edge of the pineapple, and I'm going to remove the skin. And I'm going to try to go not too far into the flesh. I just want thin slices like this. See how thin that is? We're going to do that. And this is key, by the way. You do not want too much pineapple flesh in there. One of the flavors that you're getting is the pineapple, but you're also getting this really nice kind of rustic, full flavor when you're using the pineapple skins. So, and then I'm just going to cut some of these pieces off that are still got the eyes in them and the dark spots. Just going to cut down the side there. And you're left with this gorgeous pineapple core. So now, you can't see it, but anyway, you're left with this beautiful, I can't shade it right, there we go. You're left with this beautiful pineapple core with a nice core in the center, which is going to have some bromelain in it as well. I'm going to make a small cut, a thin cut, and I'm going to take this bottom ring off, and this is the only flesh of the pineapple that we're going to use, meaning the inside, not the skin, but the inside. This is the only part of that we're going to use actually down in the ferment, and I'm going to put this in a bowl right over here and set that aside because we are not using the rest of that pineapple. This is actually what you're using in the pineapple drink that we're making today. Pretty cool, right? I'm so excited. I love doing this. So those go just right down into your mason jar. I'm just going to plop those right down in there. No particular order. I'm going to pull some of those off of there. They look a little brown and weird. Just going to clean up that bottom just a little bit. There we go. See, I've just cleaned it up just a little bit, but that's going to go right. I'm going to have to cut that in half to get down in my jar. So all of those just go right down in your jar. You could make them pretty if you were so inclined. Not necessary. Pretty, not necessary. Then I'm going to just take my actually I'm going to put this in 4s. And that's just going to go right down in there. Just get a nice pack. Kind of pack them down in there a little bit. As much as you can. This is so exciting. Aren't you excited? You must be thrilled. I mean, you must just be like, this is the best Periscope ever. Pretty is not your kitchen style. Yeah, I like to do pretty. I like to make my foods look pretty, but when you're doing something like this, it's just not totally, you know, it's not ridiculously important. So, yeah, so now you don't have to throw them away. Yeah, you could just put them right fresh down into this and make this nice little drink. So there we are. We have all of our pineapple skins right down in there. And now I'm going to take my ginger and my grater. And somebody was freaking out yesterday because I didn't peel my ginger. I don't peel a lot of my stuff. I mean, I would peel a pineapple, obviously, so. Yes, good, good. Your next pina colada, right? Is that what you mean? Or you mean your pineapple? So I'm just going to grate some ginger. This is going to end up being about probably about a teaspoon. I like leaving the skin on. This is the other exciting part of fermenting right here. Actually, I love being in the kitchen. It's like one of my favorite things ever. Obviously, I wouldn't have a food blog if I didn't like being in the kitchen. Okay, thank you. I don't know Spanish. Nothing. Don't know nothing. You guys are quiet today, or maybe I'm just looking down a lot. I haven't seen you say anything. So here's that. Just a little bit more. And it builds up on the edge of the ginger, so I'm just going to take that. Again, it does not have to be pretty. I'm going to pull it off of my grater and off of my cutting board and out. See that? No, you can't see it. See that? So, and that ginger is just going to go right down in there. Now, you can do as much ginger as you want. Actually, I want a little bit more. I love ginger. Ginger is so good for you. It's really good for your tummy. It's really good for your digestion. And it ferments beautifully. How weird. That is weird. You're having a weird Periscope day. Who's in the room? We can see you just fine. Janet? Okay, so this is how easy this ferment is. I'm going to set my ginger over on top of my pineapple, actually. This is how easy this fermenting is. So easy, easy, easy. Oh, good. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Hey, I saw you in Dr. Christine's scope earlier, I think. I don't remember your name. I'm sorry. So... so here I have a tablespoon. This is a tablespoon of the coconut sugar. Uh-oh. You accidentally restricted your comments. I did? Oh, dang. I'm so sorry, everybody that's watching. That was a mistake. I did not mean to restrict my comments. That is not normal for me. So I apologize that you guys cannot comment. Oh, dang. I'm telling you, I had some technical difficulties before this scope and I was a little flustered. And so yes, that doesn't surprise me that I did something goofy. I apologize. You can send all your comments to talktothehands@gotokitchens.com. That's why you're so quiet. I'm like, everybody's so quiet today. That's okay. I can talk enough for all of us. So I apologize for restricting comments. You do not normally have that with my scopes. Usually I let all comments come through. So dang. Or you can go follow me and then you can comment. Oh no, I have to follow you actually. Yeah. Our tweeter, that's right, at GoToKitchens. Yep, thank you. So this is the organic coconut sugar. So I'm putting 3 tablespoons actually of this in here. Now remember, that seems like a lot, but you're not. In the fermenting process, some of the bacteria will actually eat up some of the sugar, but you will be getting sugar when you drink this drink. It is a sugar drink. It's better than just about any other sugar drink that you probably could have, especially with the coconut sugar, and especially since it's fermented, because the sugar is kind of taken up again by some of the bacteria in it. So just keeping that in mind. But yes, there is sugar in this drink. We just finished sugar week, and then see down in there. So I have my ginger, my sugar. You could add a little cinnamon if you wanted. If you wanted it to have a little spicy taste, you could actually... No, this is the first ferment, actually. I'm going to show you my second ferment right over here. But yeah, no, this would be the first ferment. So, so yes, so I am... Yeah, the second, oh, I see what you're saying. The second ferment would actually have less sugar in it. You're absolutely right. But you could add some cayenne. You could add whatever spices that you like. You could add to this and give it a little bit of kick. I would recommend that you go light on that. You could add some mint, but I wouldn't do that until after it was fermented. Yeah, this is a nice little fizzy drink. I really like it. I really enjoy it. I don't think you'd want to go downtown crazy with it. This is like one of those special drinks. These are like one of those special drinks that you would want only on occasion. So probably not something that you would want to replace with kombucha. But if you're getting tired of kombucha, like you could have it like a few days in a row, that would be fine. So yeah, but so now we're just going to fill the jar with water, and it's just to basically cover the pineapple. You see how it's floating up in there? You do not want that. You don't look at my messy cabinets. You do not want it floating up like that. So I think this one fits. Does this one fit? No, that one doesn't fit. Oh, dang. Okay, so I'm sorry, I did not get it out. I kind of screwed up here. But so to keep this from floating like this, my rock that I use is actually in another ferment. So get a nice flat river rock. Okay, yeah, you could absolutely, and for parts that you're not gonna use. So get a nice flat, heavy river rock that will fit through the mouth of your mason jar, and you can lay this